All right, all right. Welcome to another edition of Living Courageously Exposed. This is the August 6th, 2025 edition. And a special shout out to my youngest child, Haley Joe, who was born on this day and gave me the opportunity to be a mom for the second time. Haley Joe, happy birthday. Um, and to anyone else out there who has a birthday today, whether it's August 6th or the day that you're listening to it, happy birthday to you as well. And we're happy that you're on the planet. My name is Jennifer Saunders. I'm the host of Living Courageously Exposed. And my mission is to really just have fun with this and to open the door of the closet that you've been hiding in and start making being human normal and natural. To really just give you the opportunity to hear other people's stories, other people's experiences, and to recognize that we all have different ways of living alive and to bring that motion and that action to you. So, with that, I love interviewing people, hearing their stories, sharing their lived experiences, share my own lived experience. And today I have a really great guest. It's a client who I met through someone else, and I am I'm I'm just inspired. I'm in awe at her passion, at her excitement for what she does. And yesterday I had the opportunity to talk with her a little more in depth about what it is that she does, and just wanted to share that with you, my audience, because I love her passion for humanity and how she connects it with her other passion of plants and trees and small animals and just life in general. So today I'm excited to bring my guest to you, Laural Roaldson. I don't know why I have a hard time saying that last name, Roaldson. Laurel, how the heck are you
Everybody
today?
does.
Do they?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Good. Tell me why you're excited.
Because you really want to know. You're not politely asking, you really want to know.
Yeah, I
And it's
do.
it's really refreshing. It's really refreshing to have somebody want to know.
Right? To actually feel seen and heard like somebody cares. And that's part of why I love doing what I do, is so that people who have the opportunity to listen to these or take the chance to listen to them also can feel seen and heard and recognize that they're not alone in their stories, that we all have very similar threads, that we're all very much connected, whether we know it or not, and that we get to teach each other. We get to help heal each other. We get to grow each other. And so I do want to know. I find it fascinating. So with that, let's let's just go ahead and get started with the first question. So uh, I love it when my guests are like, all right, go ahead and send me the list of questions. I'm like, I don't have any. Because this is a program where we go by inspiration and just guided heart feels. And Laurel being who she is, and which I'm sure she'll tell us here in just a minute, uh, what her essence and her beingness is. Uh, Heart feels are her. They're just her. So with that, let's ask that first question, which is this. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I remember wanting to be a veterinarian.
A veterinarian. Okay, I'm like, I didn't ask that question right. I asked the second half of it. Let me re-ask it. That was a rewind. The question is, what were you like as a kid, and what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, wow. I was definitely a tomboy. I was outside as much as possible, climbing anything I could climb, um, being with nature, being outside. We lived in the woods,
Okay.
and I had a garden in the woods, and that was my sanctuary, being in the woods and gardening. Whether my brothers and sisters were with me or not, that was where I wanted to be. So as a kid, yeah, I was very, very active. Loved sports. I was a diver.
Ooh,
Spring. springboard diver. Yeah.
I
Um,
would have never guessed that.
oh,
In,
really?
in my just from our conversations, that's not anything that's anything close to what we've talked about. And so it was like, wow, that's cool. I am not a diver by any means.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It teaches you a lot of discipline. I played the piano for 9 years, and that teaches you a lot of discipline. I think I was very, very fortunate to have those two activities in my life as a kid. It helps teach you good habits, good life habits, and so um, I was a good. I think I was a good, courteous kid. I just walked to my own beat.
Ah, ah. How okay. So I'm taking notes. Uh this whole thing of walking to your own beat. Okay, I want to ask about, I wrote that down. The gardening. You said you would go into you grew up near the woods or in the woods, that you had a garden there. How did you know how to garden?
Yeah.
Like, did somebody teach you? Did you observe other people doing it? How did you garden in the woods as a young child? And it became your sanctuary. Tell us a little more about that.
The plants taught me. I would just listen to maybe an inner voice, or as I came to understand it, they were all there. Plants have a spirit in each one of them. The American Indians know that, indigenous
Right.
cultures know. And I listened. They would tell me what to cut, or I just have a feeling. It's almost like my hands were guided to do certain cuts on little shrubs and trees and things. So I learned by them, and it was interesting because when I grew up and I was starting my company, um, I had a neighbor who had, well, first of all, I got fired from my first job out of college, and it was devastating, as you might imagine, because it was in the field that I studied. So I was going, what the heck am I going to do with myself? And so, in the meantime, while I was figuring out what I was going to do, my neighbor down the street had a lawn that was waist high, and he was a lawyer
Oh,
with way too much, hours to bill, and he didn't want a garden. So I offered to cut his lawn, and I did. And it was hard because it took a long time. And then he said, hey, can you prune these shrubs over here? Can you, these plants? Well, they were a bank of decades old rhododendrons and azaleas. And if you know anything about them, all they're slow growers, especially the rhodos. Azaleas can be fast, but in any case, I go, oh yeah, sure. And so I wasn't
had you
really sure,
ever had
but
you ever done that before?
no, but I knew I could figure it out. And so I got some books. I studied the books. I walked down the street, with my Felcos and my books, and I was talking to him. And then, we're discussing what I'm going to do, and I'm telling him what I'm going to do. And then he goes, yeah, I'll see you later. So he goes off to work. I'm waving to him, and I'm going, if I screw this up, he's a lawyer, and this may not go very well for me. And so I looked at my book again, like nervous. Oh man, I really got to have to do this right. So then all of a sudden, a voice said, it's time. Whether that was my internal voice, a spirit that was helping me out, whatever, I put the book down immediately, picked up my Felcos, because when you hear a voice like that, you follow it.
Right. Okay,
That's
wait. Velcros are like shears, a cutting tool.
the impruners.
Okay, pruners.
Uh-huh.
For those of us who are not familiar with the terminology.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
No,
so
don't be
it's
sorry.
impruners. And I picked them up, and then I crawled into the bushes, which is not typical. At least I haven't seen anybody else do that. But that was the natural thing for me to do. And I went and I crawled in, and I sat in style looking up at these gorgeous plants. And all of a sudden I knew what to do. Boom, 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 boom. And I cut, and It was great. Turned out great. Took me days to do it because it was such a large bank of shrubs, but it turned out wonderful. And that was the beginning of my first company.
That's amazing. Okay, like that's amazing. And I love it when we have these like intuitive hits where we just know we can do something, even though we've never done it. There's this confidence and this power that like just starts to ooze and like shine forth and like fill our bodies and our souls. I love that feeling, and I love that you had that. I want to go backwards a little bit before we talk about business stuff. Some people, I want to know more about you said you could hear voices um, talking to you, like guiding you in this gardening or cutting of limbs and trees when you were young. Um, can you tell us more about that? Because I find that really fascinating. I think it's such a beautiful gift. And I think it's one that, well, I know we all have, but that we're not all in tune to. How did you how did you find yourself in tune with it? Is it something that you just always had? Was it something that you mm, maybe knew about or developed somehow? Like how tell me about that gift. Like
Hmm.
how? Why? And maybe you don't know how, and that's okay, but maybe just explain the best you can, like what that was for you, how you learned to listen, why you chose to listen.
That is what all of us would benefit from if we listened to it when it comes to us. Um, I think it's the earliest recollection I have is I was 4 and we were in the backyard, all the neighborhood kids playing. And all of a sudden, I had this conscious thought of we are one.
Or
Everything is connected. Everything. Everything was connected. I could feel it. And and I felt joyful, absolutely joyful. And and I just accepted it. Go, oh, okay, that's the way it is. And but I knew that that's the way it is. And then fast forward a year, and my mom threw away my security blanket,
oh,
and I was
oh,
very very upset about that. And
yeah.
so I was crying up a storm, and she wanted me to stop, and I wasn't ready to stop crying. So I ran outside. I cried some more at the top of my lungs. I was so pissed off and sad. And so she wanted me to stop. And so she came after me, and I ran and climbed up the tree in the tree house. And it had like 4 levels, 5 levels, something like that. And she would climb up after me to try to get me to stop crying. And then I just climbed higher. And I wasn't going to be stopped because I needed to cry. And so
Oh,
she followed me all the way up to all the layers that there were. And then I kept going. And she decided that she wasn't going to do that. So I continued to climb to the top of the tree, and it was a pin oak. And I climbed to the very top, and then I got myself wedged into the leads. There were a number of leads up there, and I got myself wedged in there, and I just sat up there and bawled for a long time. Like, the day became the sun became like twilight kind of. And I,
as a
I,
5-year-old,
yeah, as a
what
5 year.
what were you I mean, the way you're talking about this, it's like you were all and your security blanket being gone, like the thing that kept you safe is now not there. And the way you're talking about this, like there's a lot of stuff there for a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
Do,
yeah,
do you even know what that was? I'm
yeah.
not sure lots of us do. This morning we did an exercise and I'm like, I can't think of the actual experience, but I can remember the feeling. So do you remember?
Oh yes, yeah. It was very hard. So my security blanket was gone, and then I'm in the middle of crying, and then I hear a voice, and it's the tree, and the tree says, "You're okay. You are going to be okay. And it said some other things to me, and it also said, we are here. It didn't say, I am here. It said, we are here. And my understanding as I've gotten older is, with my experience with trees, is that they behave, they act as a unit. They are not separate the way that we are, the way that
Right.
humans are. They recognize that they are connected. They know it, they behave as if they are connected. So the tree said to me, we are here. And in that instant, I transferred my sense of security from the blanket to the trees, back to nature. And it's never changed. That is how I know where I am, who I am when I connect with nature. That is who I am. I am inseparable from it.
I have goosebumps. Like I kind of am in awe and a little bit speechless, which is kind of odd.
Unusual for you.
But I have all the words at the same time because I'm like I'm in awe, and I think the speechless is just it's a sense of awe. It's the sense of wonder, the sense of it brings up this in me because I know that feeling in different ways. Like nature is my jam. Nature is such a beautiful thing. I can't say that I have the same beautiful, amazing connection to it that you do. I can listen and I can feel it, but I can't say that I feel it like you do. And that you learned it at 5, that the trees spoke to you at 5. I think one of the, it's amazing. It's amazing and it's so beautiful and it's stunning and what a gift. What a and it gives me
Yeah.
I didn't know this friends until today. Um I hadn't heard this story. And so it gives me this deeper appreciation and understanding for what you do and why you have the passion for it, which is, again, part of why I love doing this experience right here, because I love bringing people forward who are running businesses, especially heartfelt businesses, and letting our guests and our audience understand the person and why they're doing what they're doing and why they have the passion. And that right there is powerful. At 5 years old, like I remember an experience at 8 years old that changed my life like that. Probably not, I can't say like that in similar ways, but
Mhm.
it wasn't with trees. It wasn't with I don't have the same connection, but it connected me to um heart and humanity and wanting to serve and give back and have people feel loved and seen and maybe myself first and foremost. Like, let's be real. Um
What happened? Tell us.
um I want this to be about you. Just really quickly, I'll do a quick nutshell version. Uh, my mom was a single mom, 4 kids. I'm the oldest of those 4. I was 8 years old. I was part of the LDS church, and the bishop at the time, Terry Young, an incredible soul. It was the holidays and brought a food box. It still brings emotion. Brought a food box for my family. And at 8 years old, I knew what that meant. And he took me shopping, Christmas shopping for my mom. And it shifted that piece of me of like, it's not about being needy. It's about we all need to share and give too, and
Mhm.
how we're all connected. And sometimes some of us are better off than others in money or health or wealth or all the things. And it's this beautiful giving and taking, giving and receiving. And um it touched me in ways that I've never forgotten. And I really tried to live out my life doing that example and um, yeah, connection to people. And and then as I moved on, nature became a part of it. But going back to you, I had this question keeps coming into my mind of of a listener or somebody talking and when we say we're talking to trees or trees are talking to us and that we're connected to nature and all the things, I mean, like you said, indigenous people know this, more in tune people know this. Lots of people like to make fun of it, call it woo woo, which I don't care. like feel free. How do you go about um, interacting with people who may not have the an understanding or the deeper understanding of what our connection is to everything, and who just want to call it woo woo without, like, how do you move forward in your life when people are like, you're weirdo, like, you're talking to trees, you're letting trees talk to you, like, how do you stay inside yourself and continue to have this growth and experience, but share it with other people so they understand, not even so they
Well,
understand.
I check to see what they're ready for. If
Mm,
if they're not ready to know that that is part of what happens here, on Earth, on this plane, I just leave them alone. I get out of I end the conversation quickly. I'll let them know that we're not the I'm not the right fit for you, but so and so would be a good match. Why don't you give them a call? Here's their number. Um, it it I found that it is really a waste of everybody's time to try to get people to hear you, see you, understand you when they don't want to.
right. How did
And
you do that as a kid? Because that makes you different. I mean,
I yeah,
how did you go
I
about that as a kid and through
I
like
didn't do that.
adolescence?
Yeah, I didn't do that very well, and so I got certain groups would like tease me, but um, that's it's okay. I mean, at this point, I understand what was going on, and I think because people can feel my heart, I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve. That like people at school were really, they liked me, or I had a lot of friends. I was, as I said, I was very active and on the swim diving team, so it did drama, and I have a lot of things that I'm interested in and curious about. So I think that that made it easy for me to stay engaged with other people. And then the ones that I knew I wasn't comfortable with, or they just clearly weren't interested in being around me, then you just stay away from them. It's that I think that's normal. I think that's human
So
nature.
yeah, absolutely. So did you? I'm like, what's the question? This I'm going to call it a gift and connection with nature and trees, and that they can speak to you. That's where your safety now was, not in the blanket, but the trees. Do you feel like that gave you a confidence moving through from the age 5 on? Man, it's right there, like how I want to ask it, but the words aren't formulating. Uh, so did you talk about it? Like, is this something that you talked about in your everyday circles, or did you get to talk about it with anyone, or is it something that you just kind of had to suppress because people don't understand?
There, when I was a kid, I I knew it was so, but I also knew that nobody else was talking about it.
Okay.
And then so I didn't talk about it, but I read books like about the American Indians, and how their entire cultures, are integrated with nature. And it's like they knew what was going on.
Right.
So I gravitated to wanting to know more about them, and how did they do it. Just as you said, it's like, man, I felt lonely, and I have felt lonely a good part of my life because of this.
Yeah.
um but there are people that, beacons, and these wonderful islands of people that you find, and you go, oh yeah, let's hang out. um and there are people, there were people along the way that they were very interested in it too. So I'd read about American Indians, and watch movies about them, and how they lived. And it's like, I want to be like that. That feels right to me.
What's the that? What's the that? Like, I want to live like that. What's that? The thing that
That,
just like brought that up in you, that
yes,
feeling and emotion and
they were connected. They stayed connected with nature all the time. They lived with nature, not trying to subjugate it. And I think that that's what our culture, our society, many around the world does. They have forgotten where they really are meant to be in the way that I understand the world.
sure,
And
sure.
and I think whenever you have to put someone down, you have to make them less than you, you have to control them. That is your insecurity, and it is not necessary. But unless you understand that, you're going to keep doing it.
Right?
And so,
Like when's the last time you witnessed a tree saying to another, like, you dummy? I can't believe you just did that. Like, I'm so much better than you are. Like, it just doesn't happen, right?
never do that. They never talk that way. They never, never, never talk that way. It's
It's just
all, helping us and being present for us. And it's like, they are like guardian angels. They stand around us. I see beautiful trees outside my windows all the time. And they are all around us, and they are there saying, I support you, I believe in you, I'm here for you. We are one. We are one. That is the overriding message that they have. And
so
so that's the way I like to design. That's the way I like to talk with my clients about what they want, how to get them to be able to feel that
and so
for
do
them.
you feel I absolutely love that. Do you feel like with indigenous people and um Indian cultures and like indigenous people of other countries. Like I also have traveled to different countries, or I don't know why I said I have traveled to other countries and been with the peoples of those countries, and not like in really a lot of times not in super like intimate ways, like I'm staying with them for a week or but I'm around them, I'm with them, I'm observing, I'm on their land, and they have a different feel. They have a different respect. They have a different connection to the nature, and therefore a different connection in my experience and what I've witnessed with each other.
Mhm.
Now, at the same time, there's also a lot of crap and all the things that lots of us experience, addictions and unhealthy behaviors and not being nice to each other and hurting each. I mean, there's all of that too. Let's be
Yeah.
real, but it feels like those who are connect have that connection to nature and understand it, know how to breathe it in and recognize that we are it. It is us. Have a different connection with human stuff as well. Is that
Yes.
what you were experiencing as you were studying um, Indian cultures and indigenous people? Like, is that part of that you were like, whoa? It wasn't just their connection to nature. Was it also their connection to each other?
Oh yes, because it's all integrated. It's all interconnected. Yeah.
So,
I'm so lucky. A number of years ago, I was really fortunate to be able to go to two separate ceremonies on the Hopi Reservation, and there's only one in the world.
wow.
And yeah, and oh my gosh, the richness of their culture, it puts anything else to shame that I've experienced. And I mean that, I don't even know if I've had such a rich experience culturally than that.
Wow. Wow. I'm just reflecting back on some experiences I have had. Um, in Ecuador, and there was one in Chile and one in Peru, um, Panama. Oh my gosh, the one we had in Panama. I'm reflecting back on those and the opportunities we had to actually interact with them. And it wasn't, some of them were ceremonial, some of them were just them acting out their culture and how they welcome other people
Mhm.
and integrated us into what they were doing into their meals and how they fed us and how they danced with us and how they interacted.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. It was very, very powerful for me. I still reflect back and go, oh man, that's what that man was doing. Um, yeah. And at the time I didn't really get it. I'm not Hopi, but just learn. I think back and I go, that's what that meant in that part of the ceremony or whatever. It was very powerful.
Yeah, I love it. I have so many things running through my mind right now that I feel like connect with this that we as a people and are missing out on. And I'm like, ooh, do they have that? And I'm trying to think like, I saw something the other day, was listening to something that was talking about when we learn how to heal and speak, we don't have to learn how to scream.
That's
Um,
right.
and I'm thinking back, to what we've been talking about here about people who are more connected with nature and more connected with each other. I'm like, they're humans too. They have to have these experiences where they get hurt. And I'm thinking, how do they handle that? Like, do they actually talk or do they teach each other? They have screaming ceremonies as a way of healing, or like, what is the thing so that um I seriously have so many things running through my head right now as far as that kind of stuff goes. So feel free to like just jump in and
You have some American Indians on this show and ask them about their culture because you're clearly curious about it, interested. And I think I would definitely watch that show for sure.
I think I can probably find a few. I know a few, and so I actually used to have a brother. Um, his name was Gary. He was from Arizona, from I don't remember the tribe that he was from. He was from a reservation, and he would come and go to school at and live in my home, my family's home, from the time he was in sixth grade to I think he graduated with maybe he went to 11th or 12th grade, but and it was really cool to hear about some of the things that he talked about. And I don't know that he had like the full Indian culture. There was a lot of alcoholism in his family, and he eventually died of alcoholism. Um, but it was really cool to hear some of the things that he would talk about, just in his knowingness as a young kid. So, okay,
Mhm.
so you talked about wanting to be a vet. You're obviously not a vet. So how did all of
Right.
this information and this study and this change up how and what you decided to do with your adult life? Like as a younger person, did you ever like um look into being a vet, or did you like how did that work for you? You said you got fired from your first job,
Yeah.
got the experience with the attorney and getting inside the bushes and cutting the trees and learning how to not learning, practicing hearing that voice again.
Remembering,
Yes.
because
Thank
I
you.
think I always had it. I think
Yes.
it's always been who I am.
Yes. And so how do you feel like that guided you to your different experiences as an adult?
um, I tried, like I did my company in Virginia for 3.5 years, and then I moved to California. And then I tried to go back into corporate America, and I was not happy. I did it for a while because I was supposed to, and I wasn't happy. And I eventually went back into the green industry, working for Bartlett Tree Experts. And I learned to climb. I learned climbing techniques with them. And man, I was in heaven in those trees. And so I I worked for them for about a year and a half, and then their business slowed down. And consequently, at that time, my business was picking up. Like people were asking me to do all sorts of things. So I just went back to in doing my thing, and I climbed for 15 years. 15 years, I was
What?
in heaven.
Look at you. Like, look at you talk about this. Climbing
Ah,
trees and being in literally in heaven. Like, what were you doing climbing trees? Like, what was the work you were doing?
pruning them.
Okay.
Yeah, pruning them. So, a lot of them were on the smaller side, but um, the biggest tree I ever climbed was between 90 and 100 feet.
Wow.
Oh, it was awesome. And it was a Quercus lobata, a valley oak. And that, oh my gosh, that tree was gorgeous. And it told me what to do,
I was just
what
saying,
to,
did they talk to you as you were doing this?
oh heck yeah. Oh yeah. And so and it's massive because it was about 100 feet wide too. And so I was in there. I used to climb with two sets of ropes, um and to get that box, the triangulation. And so you throw up your line, you put your picks in, get your ropes in there, and then get yourself on there, and then rope yourself, climb up. It was fabulous. And so being up in trees for hours at a time, I'm telling you, those trees gave me so much chi, so much of their chi, because they
Right.
were grateful to me for pruning them. I would be on a natural high for, I remember, over a week. It depended on the size of the tree, but the bigger the tree, oh man, I never needed to take drugs because I got high from being with the trees.
Wow. It makes me think like rock climbers. Like, do do they talk to the rocks? Do they have to feel the rocks, especially the ones who are good, who are like connected, not just going out and doing it for sport, but the I watched a lady in a rock climbing gym once. It was the absolute like I'm struggling, trying to get up the stinking wall and all, and she had this beautiful day. I mean, granted, it was fabricated, it wasn't real rocks, but I could picture her out on the ginormous wall of nature doing this beautiful dance and then talking to her saying, right here, like and you talking about being in the trees and having them talk to you and tell you, guide you as to do. I thought, wow, how many other things are we connected to that way that we don't, most people don't recognize, have life and a spirit and a soul, and that we can be connected with them. That just, and watching you light up, oh
We
my.
we we are connected with everything, whether we recognize it or not. We are connected with everything. Everything is energy. Everything is one. It's one. It cannot be anything else other than that. So when I was very fortunate that I was open to hearing it from the trees, and like
Did
you're
you
talking
ever
about
feel
rock.
crazy? Like, I know some people when they're learning this, I mean, you learned it at 4, it probably felt supernatural. Not supernatural, but supernatural.
Yeah.
Um, but as you got older, I know that some people, and even myself sometimes, I hear things like I have a lot of intuitive hits. I connect with people in ways and I'm like, I don't know why I can connect with you like that, or why I can push you the way that I push you the way that I can, or that I can say these
I
things. And I sometimes it makes me feel crazy because it's like, why? And I honestly want to fight it sometimes, because I don't want to be different. But the reality is, I am different. I have these gifts. And so, do you, in your experience, did you ever feel crazy? Do you ever feel crazy like talking about it, or how do you go about that? Like, I'm really just getting a new level of learning of like, this is part of my amazing. It is a gift, and it's okay if I feel crazy with it sometimes. It's just what it is.
yeah, I have felt crazy based on what other people told me I was, but the longer I'm alive, the more I realize I'm not. I just am aware of things that they're not. It's that as simple as that.
Yeah.
Because all of here, it's here for anybody. Um, if you're not, if you don't have the ability to tune into it, then you don't. And then just be happy with what you have. I have an ability to feel um, on a deep level and in ways that other people don't seem to be aware of. Um, that doesn't make me crazy. That makes me really,
Supernatural.
really, really lucky. And you know, and it's okay that there is a disparity. It's okay that there's a difference. There has to be a difference in order for us to be able to register that there's a difference. So I'm just kind of going, what else would I expect? Some people are going to get it, and then some people are not. And you just leave the people that don't get it, let them be. I don't really tell them things that they're not going to be comfortable with. I save that for people who want to know, who are interested in going forward with their spirituality, um, with their
I
growth.
love that you just use that word and that word. So a couple of questions are coming into mind. I know that you call yourself a plant intuitive,
Yeah.
which I think is so cool. Like I've never heard that before. I've never heard anyone call themselves that before. And I think it's so beautiful and so spot on for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so how do you take this gift of hearing the trees and the plants, and how do you work that in the one, what is the work that you do as a plant intuitive? And then how do you take these gifts and incorporate it into the work that you do both with the plants and with people? So what is, first of all, what is
Um,
the work that you
well,
do?
what is what?
What is the
We're,
work
we're,
that you do? Yeah, what do you do?
so I'm a landscape designer. I was a landscape contractor for 26 years, organic. And it's quite possible to do landscaping organically, and it saves, not only does it save the planet, it saves the person who has the organic garden thousands of dollars because you allow nature to balance itself, and that means less maintenance, believe it or not.
Yeah,
So that's what I would propose. That's the only way that I would work with somebody if they wanted to do it organically, and so they consequently had very healthy and little microclimates and environments, and I knew that they could go to bed and wake up every day knowing that I had helped them create an environment where they were healthy, where they didn't have to worry about chemicals. They didn't have to worry about being poisoned. It's like, what? Why would somebody want that where they live? That just still doesn't, I don't understand that. Um,
do you feel
so,
like that's so just to be clear, and so I mean we want people to come and work with you. um People are just uninformed as to what the different ways are, that there is a different way, a more natural way, a more healthy way for both the plants and for them.
oh,
And
yeah.
you just happen to know one of those ways.
Oh, yes. Um, Conventional landscaping, the use of chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, fungicide. Sometimes you really need a fungicide for sure, and sometimes you do need these other things. You do, but if you start with a balanced environment, you have to get it into balance. You are far less likely to need these other things. It just nature takes care of itself. Nature balances itself. It gets out of balance when plants are forced to do something that they're not comfortable doing, that it's outside their planting zone. They don't have adequate water, they have too much
Well,
water.
that sounds a lot like people.
Oh
We
yeah,
we get out
that's
of balance when we're forced to do or be something that we're not.
right. That's the whole point.
What?
We are connected. We are one. We act the same in certain, we do. We are a lot like plants. Plants are a lot like us. Did you know that trees and humans, uh, I think it's genetic, like on a cellular level, we are closer together than any other thing? Trees
I
and
did
people.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's really,
Wow.
really cool. So of course they're going to want to help us, and of course we are going to respond to them. So
Yeah.
what do I do when I work with somebody? I first of all I listen. I ask them, what do you want? What are you looking for? What are your goals? And I give them a little questionnaire. Unlike you, I do need a questionnaire
Yeah,
because
sure.
it gets them in the right space to talk about what they want, to think about what they want. Our culture does not allow for people to do that very often. It's just not the way it's set up. So I give them the space to do that. I want them to do that. It helps them get connected to their hearts. And heart answers are always the best answers. Always. Yeah. Yeah. You're far more successful in whatever you do when you go by your heart. So
That's a million amens on this end of the camera.
yeah. And so with that information, then we go to the nursery. I do nursery field trips,
Oh, I
and
love it.
I watch them. I go with a third person because somebody needs to take pictures of the plants, and then I am watching them and engaging with them, asking them, okay, what do you like about this plant? What is it about this plant that draws you? What do you not like about that one? Whatever it is. And then I watch them because it's not just what they're telling me. I am watching the energetic exchange between them. I see energy too. So, like, I'll see a pattern of energy between a person and a plant or a tree. Trees, it's very easy to see. Um, and I just, if I see a good connection, then I'll ask them more questions about that. If there isn't a connection, let's move on to this next tree. I don't want to waste their time.
So
So,
what I'm hearing is that one, like greenhouse field trip sounds amazing. I used to work in a greenhouse. I loved it. I loved that summer. Um, just being amongst, and I didn't completely understand it then. I had an understanding. I get it more now, but I love that it sounds like you are you're coaching the person about the connection between them and the plants, but then also like helping them see that that connection is what's going to create this amazing space that then you're going to take this stuff and landscape it into whether it's their home or their business, or is that what I'm hearing?
yeah. So we get a preliminary plant list, and I write down everything, and we take pictures of the plants with the labels. Latin is very important if you want to do this right. So I always go by the Latin names, and then with that preliminary plant list, then me and the client sit down with a basic map of their property, and we do a bubble diagram, and I say, okay, where do you envision yourself spending time in your yard, or have you already? And then we do a bubble, make bubble circles on this map of, oh, they like to eat here, so a patio would be a good place to put here. And then their favorite tree happens to be a little ways down into the property. We'll have a meandering path and a little bench there where you can sit and have coffee in the morning or whatever. And
You're
so,
creating an experience, not just a landscape.
yes, that's the point. It is an experience to be in nature. You are experiencing yourself. That's what the landscape is about. I landscape the people. I help them
Wait,
figure
say that
out.
again. Whoa, say that again. That was beautiful. You do what?
I landscape the people. I help them put themselves into their landscape. It's them. It's not me. It's them. And they get to see, experience, be a part of who they are.
Okay, time out.
Every
Time
what?
out. If you are the listener right now, I really hope you have your listening ears on and your listening cap on. And if you have landscaping to do, you should be calling Laurel. You should be calling Laurel. This is such an incredible. Um, I've never heard anyone, and I know people who love plants. Like I say, I worked in a greenhouse all summer long, and I don't recall one person, and there were lots, who feel and designed the way that you talk about designing. It was about taking a plant and creating something pretty. It wasn't about the connection between plants and nature and people and designing landscaping people into their own space. Like that is so freaking beautiful.
I can't
Hmm,
do it anyway.
right? And I'm so glad that you can't. And it's different. And so many times in my own work, I'll say that I'm like, it's the only way I know how to do it. And that's being real and authentic and with connection. And I
Right.
don't, it doesn't fit the other models. It doesn't fit and so I feel a little lost sometimes. I feel a little weird sometimes. But it's what I know how to do because I also am heart centered. I care about people,
Uh-huh.
not metrics, not, calculations. I care about people. And that's exactly what you're doing in your work. And I love watching you light up as you talk about it.
Yeah, it's very exciting to me when a client connects and whether they consciously realize it or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that they get to have the experience of themselves that way. That is very powerful. It gives um, power to them. They are becoming connected with their higher selves when they do that. And anytime we are connected with our higher selves, we are happiest. We are the most evolved. We are getting farther along in our progression, in our soul progression. And to me, like that's what it's all about.
I I could not agree more. I cannot agree more. Like I have things that they're like sitting here that I want to say, and I they're feeling I think a little muddled. There's so much. I feel like we could have this conversation for a whole nother podcast. I know we're getting close to our hour, but I really and so I'm gonna just let those sit and we can converse about them another time or come on and do this again. But
Sure.
I would love for you to introduce a project that you did that I know sometimes we have a hard time wanting to promote ourselves that way. And so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I haven't read it yet. She's gonna send me an autograph copy. Yeah, introduce us to this. What is it?
This is my book, and it's called Choosing Your Perfect Tree Tips from a Landscape Designer. I don't know if you can see it fully. Can you?
I lift it up just a little higher. There we go, because we got to get your name. Laural Roaldson.
There, yeah. So all of these trees on the front cover are trees that we pruned, that my crew pruned.
They're so beautiful. I love
Yeah.
that you chose that to be part of the cover. So tell us a little bit about why you wrote this book, how it's going to serve some, like why does someone want to have this in their hand?
Because it tells you how to choose, plant, and take care of a tree, even if you don't have any experience at all. It was written for the non-gardener.
Okay.
And so, like, the steps are, it's very boom, 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 boom. Gardening for
And I know Laurel, and I can guarantee, even though I haven't looked at the pages, that what she's saying is fact.
yeah, it is. And so, you can take it to the bank. It'll work. It will work. And that's what I felt very I was determined that when I did a landscape for somebody, it was going to work. It wasn't just going to look good, it was going to work. And then for them, when I was gone, my crew, we did maintenance as well. So we took care of a lot of the properties that we landscaped, but the landscape needed to be self-sustaining, basically.
Yeah.
And that's the way I designed. So this helps you pick a tree that is going to work in your environment. Follow the steps and you can't go wrong. And if you want extra help, contact me. I'll walk you through it. I can coach you, whether it's from me on site or like this, the way we're doing over a Zoom. Doesn't matter. FaceTime. It doesn't matter. Because I can still see your interaction with the plant. I can still see how you are with your environment. I'll watch you. I'll see the energy that exchange between you and wherever you are, and then I can guide you. If you want to
I
do it, I'm game.
I absolutely love that. And we'll make sure that you, as a listener, have a way to get a hold of Laurel or several of them and start that connection with her so that you can start the connection of your landscape experience.
Mhm.
So, Laurel, I know that we've talked a lot about the connection between um, plants and trees and people and
Yeah.
how we're what'd you say we're when you look at the DNA and the things like that, we're the two closest things together. So are there a lot of metaphors here? Did you put metaphors in your book, or is it mostly about trees, or is kind of the metaphorical stuff like what you do when you're speaking to a group of people on PS, you can hire her to speak?
Yes.
Is that something that you reserve for those kinds of interactive experiences, or is that inside your book as well?
I think there's a mix. I think there's a
Okay.
mix. It's very technical. There are steps on how to plant, for example. But there's also some of my clients, I invited them to write their experience of their trees. And so their essays are in here too. And
I
so
love
you
that.
get to go, I feel like that woman, or I feel like him. So this is not just me in the book. This is other people too.
I
And
love it.
yeah, there's metaphors in the book. I don't think I could get through a day without using a metaphor because everything is connected for me. It has to have a metaphor.
Right? That's how I feel like my life is too. And the people in my life are like, they feel it come. They're like, oh, here it comes. There's, or they're just waiting for it. It's like, why not? Like, there's so many things around us, especially in nature, that we can learn from and be like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, the power I feel from that thing is actually in me. Well, yes, yes, it is. That quote just
Yeah.
came into my mind of oh my gosh, I don't remember the quote. It's just I remember the line of like, if we had any idea, if we had any idea of how of what our greatness is, we would bow at our own feet. And how often we stand somewhere and we stand in wonder and awe, like at a sunset or at a beautiful tree or a plant that just blows our mind, or maybe you're on the top of a mountain looking out over the expanse and we're just like,
Yeah.
but what we don't realize is that all of that is us. And we can do that every day with ourselves when we freaking look in a mirror and we can look at ourselves and go, oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And
I am more, I was going to
I
say,
just love that you do that in the work that you do with plants, that you bring those two together.
ah, thank you. Yeah, I think I do. And I was going to add that for me, it's easiest for me to feel that the greatness of self when I know I'm connected with something else, because I know I'm not it by myself. It for me, it's a community. I may be shining at this moment in this way, but I am part of a community, and I wouldn't be who I am without that community.
Yeah,
Whether it's plants, people, both. For me, it's both.
I I fully agree. I fully agree. Like in some of my life changes, I feel like some of those things are, and I know they're not. I've just got to find them in a different way. They're a bit removed, and I feel the angst of that. I feel the like the I know that's not a disconnect, that I'm not disconnected. It's just not connected in the ways that I know and I am accustomed to. And so getting this experience of recognizing like I'm in a new space and I can find connection here. It's going to take a little bit of work, possibly. And so I just have, oh, I've just appreciated this
Can I offer you
conversation.
some? Yeah, I was gonna say, when you recognize that you are somewhere where nobody else has been, you are. There is something about you that you're an energy maverick, I would call you, because your energy, I can feel it, Jen. It just goes where there's space, where there's possibility and discovery. You can feel it because it's there. You have the ability to see it in people. And
Yeah,
so the fact that nobody else doesn't matter. You're the one who's supposed to see it. You're the one who's meant to see it in order to help them. Hey, come on, come this way. That is your gift. We need that in you. And it's not that you're weird, it's not that you're odd, it's that you're ahead of others. You are ahead of many others, and there's nothing wrong with that. The others need you. They need you to be there. Remember that when you get that funky feeling like, oh man, you're supposed to be there.
yes.
That is your job. That is why I think you're here.
Thank
I
you.
feel that. I feel that very strongly. So go
Yeah.
with it. We need you there. Your clients need you there. Anybody who works with you. Whoa. I mean, like your energy, I can see it traveling. It's so cool. And I mean, like, I haven't seen that energy pattern before. It is absolutely unique to you. And that is the way you travel. You can't stop it.
That, right? That's just it. Like my humanness is like wanting to quit. And this is the like and I think you probably have felt this too in your lived experience. The humanist wants to fight the spirit, it wants to fight the energy. And it's like all the questioning and all the patterns and all the old shit from being young and the discomfort of the newness. But the spirit's like, let's go, come on, let's go. And I'm like wanting to question my life choices. My humanness is wanting to question my life choices, and my ego and my spirit's like, no, I put you here for a reason. I put you here for a reason. And so it's just following that. And so I think again, that's thank you for your words. Thank you for your words. I feel like I needed that reminder today for myself, for my humanness. My soul knows.
Yeah,
Um,
you're so.
and again, just that for this conversation, I like you have probably been playing a little small or maybe a lot. And I'm just going to say this is my commitment to myself and to you as the listener. No more. No more. We are not alone. We are together. We are connected far more than most of us have any idea. Laurel learned it at 4. She learned it at 4. I learned it maybe a little older, like 10, and in different ways. But I thank you. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for your lived experience. And I know we didn't talk about challenging moments in your life, and I would love to do a podcast where we can talk about some of those things and how these gifts helped you get through some of those challenges. Because I'm going to guess um, you're going to get clients and people in your life who you sharing some of those things, myself included, um, is just going to open up doors for them even beyond the plants and nature, and because you have that gift as well. um
Yeah, thank.
yeah, yeah. um
Just remember, um, we're supposed to do this. There is a progression for everyone. If we didn't do it, who is going to help them? It might be uncomfortable for us, And because people do have insecurities, right? Us included. And so we need to be as loving, forgiving, and that's been a hard one for me,
Amen.
of
Lots of,
others
right?
and ourselves for mistakes we've made, um, and let go of that stuff and
Yeah,
just go forward and be who we are. And when we do this, Jen, we are telling and showing other people, you do this, do this too. This
right.
is for you. Yep. That's what we're all supposed to be like, all
Yep.
of us.
I
And
look at
forget
mistakes
about,
kind yeah, I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Were you I look at mistakes as kind of like we all I can't say we all. Most of us love watching movies, right? And I've had the opportunity to be on a movie set as an extra with my kids and got to see like the process. I've made commercials or I've been in commercials, so I've gotten to see the process. And they have that like I don't remember the technical name for it, but the tape number one
yeah,
and take number 10 and take number 45. Are you going to get this right? Oh my gosh. Get your line right or smile or, but it creates blooper rolls for us, right? And we laugh at the blooper rolls when it comes to movies. We're not so good at laughing at the blooper
yeah,
rolls when it comes to us and recognizing that we're very rarely going to get it right on the first time. It's going to take several takes. And every time we can freaking celebrate ourselves and use the B-roll and laugh
yeah, yeah.
or
Good point.
cry if we need to.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah, let yourself be joyful. Let yourself play.
Amen.
I want my clients to play.
Me too.
When we are in play, yeah, when we're in play mode, we are closest to our authentic selves. So that's why we go to we have the nursery field trip. We go boulder hunting. Have you ever been boulder hunting, Jen? It is so fun. So I would take my clients to a rock yard and check out the boulders, and I'll say, okay, which boulder speaks to you? And then they'd figure it out. And you'd I'd say, go sit on that boulder. Put your foot on that boulder. Depends on what we're going to use the boulder for. But like, they need to interact with the boulder. And I'm telling you, the same thing happens. There's an energy exchange. It's slower than with the plant, but it's there.
Yeah.
And when I look at it visually, but it's there. And boulders and flagstone makes such a huge difference in a garden. They really add a lot of character, texture, depth to a garden. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you want your people to play, have fun, let go, open up to your heart. You're going to have a ball, and it's okay. You're supposed to.
I agree. I part of my what I do is through the tools I use are creativity, play, and recreation.
Perfect. Yeah.
Because when we're moving the body and we're connecting, we heal faster. Stuff
Yes.
goes stuff goes through faster. We don't have to sit and laboriously go through all the mud. We can let the shiz go in a way because we're getting physical with it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, we're at 12:30, which is fantastic. But I do want to make this just probably a little bit shorter. But let's do this again. And as I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm like, we should do a retreat.
Okay. Let's figure out how to do it.
I'm putting it out there right now to you and to you as our guests. Like, you want to come have a freaking good time and learn how to disconnect from all of this shizzle. And you know what? This has a really beautiful purpose. Has a really beautiful purpose. I'm grateful for my computer right now that we can be doing this
Yeah.
from opposite ends of the country and actually from two different countries because I'm in Canada right now. Um, I'm grateful for technology, but at the same time, it messes with us and our
Yes.
ability to connect with ourselves, with our hearts and our souls, and know how to powerfully heal and use our voices. And so I'm putting it out there, Laurel and I,
Yep.
and we're gonna start putting some things in motion. We put it out there now. The universe is gonna start playing her part, his part, and we would love for you to do your part. We'll keep you posted. But
Yeah.
Laurel, any last quick? Let's just say like 5 words of wisdom to live by, or 5 books that you would words of wisdom or books that you would
Words of
recommend.
wisdom.
Yeah, let's go words of wisdom.
Okay, I would say be yourself,
Be
be
yourself. Okay,
authentic.
give me just a
You,
second. I'm going to write these down. Be yourself. Is be authentic another one? Is that number two?
that's like kind of the same thing
Okay, I'm
because
going to write
you
one
can't be
A.
yourself unless you're authentic.
Right, one A. Okay, what's two?
I would say you are already perfect as you are. You just need to remember. You are in the process of remembering.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my gosh. You're perfect as you are. I have an activity that just totally reminded me of an activity that I do with some of my clients, especially when I'm in a retreat setting. So I'm just going to write a little note here for a lesson on that. Okay. Number three, words of wisdom to live by.
I made this up for myself, but I think it would work for anybody. Positive abundance is it's an affirmation. Positive abundance is attracted to me with every breath I take, and fear leaves my body and my mind with every exhale I make.
Do you have that written down somewhere?
Yeah,
Would you please send that to me? So
you
I don't
bet.
I wrote the positive abundance, but would you send that to me and we'll put it in the notes?
Yeah.
Um, thank you for that. Oh my gosh. I love that. Attracted to me with every breath.
Yep.
All right, number four.
Wow.
We can end there if we need to, but
Nature has your back.
ooh.
Nature has your back.
Okay, I have a quick question. What would you say to all the people out there right now who are like, F you? Did you just see the floods in Texas? Did you see the tornadoes and the hailstorms and the like what would you say to them?
What I would say is we create
Oh,
nature didn't do that. Nature is responding in the only way it can. It is responding to what we've already done.
okay.
It isn't doing that. It's a domino effect, and nature can't help it. Nature is self-correcting, but it's certainly not doing it to be vindictive, punishing. It is desperately, in my opinion, desperately trying to right itself.
I love it.
And
I
we
love it.
continue to do all this bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay, last one.
We are one.
I love it. We are one. Oh my gosh, Laurel, this has been fantastic. And for those of you who are hanging around, it's a little bit longer. We just say thank you for your time,
Thank
especially
you.
because we know time is a very valuable gift. But I feel like there's been a lot of value and added value in the extra time here today. Uh, Laurel, thank you for your lived experiences and how you bring them to the world and to other people through your work and through your passion. Uh, you, the listener, or you the viewer, thank you, and we appreciate your lived experience. And if you're looking to have this kind of experience with your landscaping, or you just want to learn about it, I highly encourage you to reach out to Laurel. We'll make sure that you know how to get connected with her. Laura, remind us the name. Is it Laurel Designs?
Laurel Garden Designs.
Laurel Garden Designs. And we'll put a link to her book so that you can get that as well. But dang, give yourself an amazing experience and hire this lady. You need a great speaker. There she is, and you'll know how to get a hold of her. You want a good coach? Reach out. I
Yep.
got you back. I got your back. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And I am taking about 3 new clients right now. I have space for, and I would love to have you be one of them. I want to end with one thing, and that is Laurel has on a really cool shirt.
Oh,
I would like to end with that because she let me know that she had it on, and by dang, we're gonna show it.
Can you see
Okay,
it?
I can only see half of it. Go look. Can you stand a little taller? There we go. There we go. They whispered to her, "You cannot withstand the storm." And she whispered back, "I am the storm." So, with that, I'm going to encourage you to get out there and be the storm. Remember, you already are the storm. You already are the storm. And that you have other people's backs and we have yours. So with that, thank you for again for your time, Laurel. Thank you again for everything. And remember, be bold, be courageous, be a rebel. We'll see you soon.